A few weeks ago, Broly's new form was given a name, and that name is Ikari, which means wrath. And the majority of the internet basically took a snooze on this information. I'm not exactly sure how this happened. There were a couple of videos that were made here or there, but for the most part, the entire community did a collective yawn. I'm not exactly sure if new Dragon Ball Super Broly information had just dropped, or because the premiere was about to happen, people were kind of ignoring this information. So I decided to go ahead and investigate a little further, because I have always found it fascinating, the story and the usage behind these new Saiyan forms. And whew, there are a lot of them, but this one is one of the most intriguing, because not only does it explain why Super Saiyan and Broly's Super Saiyan form are different than each other, it explains why Broly is different than Kale.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
Today, I'm only focusing on Broly's Saiyan family tree, the forms that he has, the forms that are mentioned in the movie. So, if you don't want any spoilers, which at this point now, what is even the point? Click off this video, come back in a month or so. But these are very light spoilers, so I may stick around. You may get a better understanding and appreciation for the movie once you watch it after seeing a video like this, because I haven't really seen too many people kind of explain the differences here, and I am taking this stuff off the wiki from Dragon Ball, so you gotta take this stuff with a grain of salt, but I found it extremely interesting. So Broly's Ikari form, it means wrath. And what it does, basically, it gives Broly this built up big form, all this energy, all this intensity inside of him, giving him more muscle, making his eyes turn yellow with green aura and sparks all around him, and actually making him a little bit taller. So this is the form that we pertain to the legendary Super Saiyan form. This is kind of what we're thinking of when we think of the legendary Super Saiyan form, at least as far as the old Broly goes. But here is an interesting tidbit which comes from Paragus himself. Basically, what this form is the utilization of the Great Ape power in humanoid form. Super Saiyan 4 Broly lives? Okay, this kind of blew my mind a little bit, and this is from the wiki. Some other people have told me that this was confirmed as well, so I'm not exactly sure if the Paragus quote is 100% on the level, but in speculation territory and just kind of going off this statement, this means that they have found an interesting way to bring the Great Ape form, the Great Ape power, to Dragon Ball Super, to Dragon Ball canon, that doesn't have anything to do with Super Saiyan 4, and that is crazy. That just boggles my mind, guys, because the Great Ape form was one of my favorite forms back in Dragon Ball Z, and I was actually very disappointed to see it basically gone. There's no mention of it, there's no more usage of it up until we get to GT. But explaining why Broly is the way he is, and trying to explain why Broly isn't just Kale, a male version of Kale, which Kale is a female version of the original Broly. So It's giving us another outlet to explain why Broly is different and why he seems far more powerful than even Kale was. Now, the Great Ape power is the basis of all Saiyan power. All Saiyans in Universe 7, that is, they all have this base in their power, and that is the reason that they've been able to push and push and push greater feats of strength, gaining new forms, as opposed to the Universe 6 cousins, which they really hadn't had a Super Saiyan at all till Super Saiyan Kaba was born, which kind of a letdown, but then we did get Caulifla and Kale, and then the Universe 6 Saiyans kind of caught wind of what was going on and were able to bring up that Super Saiyan strength that had been dormant in their cells for so long. And why is that? Because they had evolved beyond their tails for years and years and years, millennia, centuries. They have not had their tails. They had evolved beyond them, so they didn't really have the capabilities of going into the Super Saiyan forms. Now we're going back to Universe 7, and now we find out that they can use the Great Ape power to go into this new form that Broly has created, which is the Ikari form. So this also explains why Broly is different than Kale, because all this green energy and aura is coming from. That is the basis of it. That's why the eyes turn yellow, which probably came from the Super Saiyan 4 Goku design, and that is where all this intense power is coming from, the Great Ape forms. And the Universe 6 Saiyans didn't have access to these. So after the Ikari form, Broly has the capability of going into the Super Saiyan form, which we do see in the movie. Now this form is very similar to a form that Kale also had, which she kind of was able to control her berserk power and go into a Super Saiyan form as well. But the only difference is that this form still has all that Ikari ki, all that Great Ape power behind it, and that is why it's far more powerful, leading us to the legendary Super Saiyan form, or as the wiki says, this can also be called the Berserk form, which is the exact same form that Kale has. The only difference is that Kale's Berserk form does not have the Ikari power behind it. She cannot go into that wrathful state as Broly can, because she does not have that Great Ape ancestry still in her blood and veins. So that means that that Super Saiyan Berserk state is something that is available and any Saiyan can have access to once they go into their Super Saiyan forms. What makes these two forms different is the fact that the Super Saiyan state that Broly uses is filled with the Ikari energy, the Ikari aura, the Ikari form. So when Broly goes into his Super Saiyan state, basically what he's doing is having perfect ki control with the Ikari energy. Once he goes into the full powered version of the state, it is the legendary Super Saiyan state, which is the mixture, for Broly anyway, of the Ikari energy and his perfected Super Saiyan form, making him all big and bulky. While with Kale, it's a little bit different, where she, from the get-go, goes straight into her Berserker state, much more bulkier, much more powerful. But the way her transformations go, they also go backwards. She goes into the legendary state first, and then has to hone in all her skills and control her ki. That way she can go into a normal Super Saiyan state, while Broly basically just goes into the normal stages of Super Saiyan, one more powerful than the other, as opposed to Kale, who has to go backwards. So this variable, this Ikari energy, this Great Ape power, is the reason why Broly is far stronger, or can be far stronger, something that we can't calculate, than Kale. That the fights that we've seen Kale go through, and the wins that she has taken, and the L's that she has taken, we cannot put them on Broly, because Broly is a completely different form because of that Great Ape power that he's pumping through his body. But they both seem to have that Berserker state, that Berserker form, and so they have the drawback to it, where they cannot stay in this legendary state for too long, because not only will it drain their stamina, but it will also hurt their body internally. Plus, if they build up far too much energy, they self-destruct, which is something that we learned in the Dragon Ball Super manga. Just thought I'd share some unreliable Dragon Ball Wiki news with you guys. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.